Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Straight Sevens podcast. My name is Colby. I'll be your host, also known as Silver Moon 370 or Silver Moon Gaming on YouTube. And today I've got my first guest here, Wildcat 929 or Nick.
Howdy, howdy.
So, Nick, you're my first guest on here, and one of the main reasons for that is that you and I have very different interests. So I figured it would
Yes.
be a really good idea to have you here as the first one. Just a lot of discussion there, and it'd be really good for people to know a bit more about you. You're a very active streamer, so.
I I try to be, yes.
Yeah. So I figured we'll just do this. We'll talk a little bit about you, and then we'll go into more things about it. What you play, what you like to play, things like that. All right.
All right. All right.
So we'll start.
Um.
We'll start off with
Oh.
the biggest thing about you. I think is that you have a master's degree as an architect.
Yes. I studied back at the University of Kentucky, and I got my master's in architecture, and I'm currently working towards my license to practice architecture in the state of Texas.
So what made you want to be an architect?
It, it's actually kind of funny. Back in back in high school, there was this computer class uh, that had us do different computer programs. There were different, it was like five different programs or three different programs or something like that, and some of them were like the Autodesk programs. Like we did a segment on Inventor, and then we did a segment on Revit, and Revit is for building buildings. Like when you think of a 3D modeling program, like SketchUp or something like that, you're saying, "Oh, these six sides, I'm calling that a wall because of a material I'm putting on it. Like that's a wall." But no, Revit Revit says, "Oh, this wall here, that is made of brick and brick and an air gap and studs and gypboard, and then like, oh, you want to change the thickness of the gypboard? Okay, let me do that on every single wall, every single, like it is made for getting drawings for buildings. So we did a whole segment on that program, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And so I talked to my professor about it, and then going into my senior year, he was like, "Hey, you should take this class that lets you uh, go away, get out of the school for half a day and go intern somewhere." So I interned at different architecture firms in town. I was like, "Man, this is really cool." And then I got into the College of Design at UK, and I think you had to do like a drawing test um, to get into it. And I think I decided to do architecture 2 weeks before the drawing test was due. And because I was in band, I never took any art classes or anything like that because band always covered my humanities credit. But luckily, I my band director had me march tuba that year, and one of the guys who helped me learn tuba was also the art teacher for my high school. So I went to him, brought the drawing test, and said, "Hey, help me do this." And here I am today.
So it sounds like you got pretty set in that way and just went straight through with it.
It was one of those things I didn't have a lot of time to reconsider. It was like go hard or back out, and I, pedal to the metal.
Well, you've got the master's degree. That's a really big accomplishment on that end. So,
Oh, for sure. It took a year longer than it should have, but I got it.
well, it does remind me of one of the stories you told about you being accused of plagiarism when the person you plagiarized was yourself. And-
Oh,
so-
so so I yes I started my master's at Texas A&M, and uh, my grades weren't so hot, and so I failed the structures class once. So when I retook it, she didn't change any of the assignments. So one part of one of the like 10 question just a normal homework, I turned in. I didn't do much to the file because I procrastinated on it because I'm honestly not a good student. I procrastinated on the assignment, and I was like, oh, I already have this file. there was some stuff wrong with it, but whatever. And um, she looked up, she looked at the information on the file and looked at the date that the file was created and knew that it was from the last time. And so yeah, I had to go through the whole Aggie honor code system and everything for plagiarizing myself on a homework assignment. And the verdict was that I failed the class. And I was like, well, you know what? This isn't for me. So I transferred back to the UK over winter break.
It's just such a wild story. Plagiarism, it's always been a thing like where if you copy off Wikipedia or something like that. I've never heard of someone being accused of plagiarizing themselves.
Well, the only time it happens is academically, because you're getting a grade for something, and it, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it's like you're getting a grade for something, so you once you turn in an assignment, you can't resubmit it. It has to be varied in some way, which doesn't help when the professor doesn't change anything whatsoever about any of her assignments, which I don't blame her. But at the same time, when you have a class that people fail often, which, side note, bad professor, but,
I agree.
um, uh, it might help just to change some numbers or whatever so that you kind of have to look back at it, and then if you don't change any of your assignments, that kind of leads to, oh, I took this class last year, here's all my homework, like it you're setting them up to fail, in my opinion. But which, that lack of a better term, like, I mean, that's a little harsh, but in the grand scheme of things, one thing leads to another. So
Yeah. I mean, it's worked out for you. Again, you've got the master's degree. It's really worked out for you.
yes.
So where do you think you go from here? Like once you get your license, I know you said you want to go independent. What's the end goal there?
Well, the end goal right now is, well, right now I'm in small firm, less than 10 people. We're just small town East Texas. We're just working on these little, doing projects for these little school districts and these, small businesses around here and stuff, and which is cool. I like being at a small firm because it lets me kind of dive into different things. Like, I'm going on site visits and doing, just sitting on CAD all day. So it's like a nice variety of things that most people might not be able to do at smaller firms. Um, but at the same time, I there's not much room for growth. Uh, it would be a created position, and it's like it's not really what I'm looking for necessarily. Which, great firm, nothing. I love my boss. They're my bosses. They're great. The town I'm in, it's pretty good for starting and everything. But um, with my girlfriend wanting to get her doctorate in nursing and wanting to be a oh Lord, what's it called? A not a doctor, but like
An
a
RN, a registered nurse,
that's what she is right now. But it's like where you go to a doctor's office, but they're not a doctor. A
physician.
Yeah, something like that. And it's really gonna bug me, but but she wants to get more into that and stuff, and so we need to go to a bigger city that has a college, a university she can go to. So I mean, and we'll probably end up going down to San Antonio, and once we get there, I kind of want to get into a bigger firm and kind of stay there for a while, work my way up, and then get to becoming, buying a share at the firm and becoming a partner, and then just kind of, instead of creating something new, kind of taking something, buying into something that's already made and just, growing it, or keeping it consistent and going from there.
So you're not interested in setting up your own firm. You just want to go in with something that's already set up and work from there.
Kind of, yeah, because like I would love to go to a place that like has an engineering department and has a landscape department and has a civil department, so that there's I don't know, it 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 would just be a lot of work to establish something. And I'm not saying that like I'm not down for a lot of work, but it's one of those things. It's like I I just kind of want to buy into something instead of creating something new. Personally, especially with how many large firms there are, I feel like it's getting harder and harder to create a new firm personally, which I mean, it's not something I've looked into a ton, but as 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 currently working in a small firm, we've seen a little bit of it.
Well, well, I imagine reputation is the biggest thing for a firm. Yeah.
Oh, 1000%, yes.
And just starting from scratch probably would be very hard, especially with yeah, nothing. I guess you could have your previous firms
Well,
if
yeah, which that is part of it. Is just like the, oh, I worked at this firm. Like you build relationships at a firm, and then if you go off on your own, you're like, hey, I was there, but hey, I'm kind of on my own now. If you want to work with me, or if you want to keep working with me, so. But that's just, I don't know.
well, I do look forward to seeing what you're going to do here. So, do you plan on just moving around, or do you plan on settling somewhere? Do you settling where that big firm is, or
Hannah and I do really see us, like, we really see each other staying in San Antonio. We've taken little trips down to San Antonio and stuff, and we love it down there. The hill country just outside is gorgeous. Weather's really good. Downtown's not too bad. There's a lot to do, and I mean Texas just seems like a really growing. There are its bigger areas, but it's got the room to keep growing. So, um, which if it's gonna grow, it needs buildings, and depending on what it is, you need an architect for it. So,
well,
seems like a lot of potential.
I'm just hoping that all works out for you.
Oh,
So,
thank you, appreciate it.
what made you want to take up streaming as your sort of side business here?
Um, so it's actually funny. It's because Elias kept no, well, the main original core creativity, um, with what he was doing, I would join him in his streams and stuff, um, and it was one of those things where I was like, before I really had a good computer, I was like, I don't really want to just stream from my Xbox. I kind of want it. I'm someone that's like, if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it all the way, and not just kind of half do it. So I would just be a guest on his streams, or someone to co-op with. But then once I finally got a computer, I was like, hey, I could kind of do this up a little bit, actually stream with him instead of just play with him. So that was kind of, I got a capture card when I got my Mac for school and stuff, and then um and then I've just kind of kept that going now that I've got my desktop and everything. Which, if you are going to stream, I highly recommend a desktop, or a gaming laptop. Macs are not the best to stream off of,
I definitely recommend
personally.
desktop. What a lot of people do is they have a second, smaller desktop that handles the streaming stuff.
Yeah, which I'd be down to do, but I'm not. I don't. I'm obviously not making any money from streaming, so I'm not putting more than I have to into it, or at least I'm not gonna buy a whole, second PC for it, because it's not as much of a financial priority at the moment. It's more of a hobby.
I understand. You're not someone that leaves anything just sort of halfway done. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I have what I need to make it look somewhat professional, but that's about it, because that's as much as I want to put into it financially. And then when, if I start making an income off it, okay, I might, spend a little more on it, but you got you 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 can't just start on top. You kind of have to build your way up.
And we are working on that building with the core creativity team and
Yes, oh,
everyone that's just
definitely.
sort of here. Our big old family, which is me, you, Elias, Afrobane, and a lot of others. It is a very large list of people that is working with us here.
Oh yeah, for sure. But at the same time, it's one of those things. It's like even if this doesn't become anything, it's it from lack of a better term, it it keeps me busy. It keeps me off the streets and off drugs. No, it 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 gives me something to do, so I'm not just sitting on my phone or just sitting around doing nothing. That I'm getting to do stuff with y'all, which is kind of one of the main reasons I started to do it anyway, just so I'm able to do stuff with y'all because it's kind of boring to just sit there and just kind of be a background. But it's nice to kind of be in. It's fun to be involved with some of the stuff.
And I admittedly gave up for a bit there. And we've got to keep. I came back. I came back with a few new shows that you're going to be a part of,
Yes.
which we've not really we've not really wrung out who's going to be on the first day pilot episodes of these things. Um, but um, it's going to be a lot more content coming from all of us here.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
So, Nick, let's talk games. That's what everyone's here for. That's
Yes,
what we're all
yes.
based around. What's your favorite genre of video game?
Open world, personally. Which I mean, I know that's really broad, but I'm a big fan of that open world game. Just like the being able to run around, do side quests, but and then follow the main story. But then I I don't know. There's something I really like about a good open world game that has a lot of detail to it. Well, because how much I love Red Dead 2. GTA 5 was good. Even High on Life was well, it obviously it's not as detailed as the other two that I mentioned, but I don't know, even just something like that kind of open world. I I don't know. There's something I like about the uh, loose structure to it, which I guess High on Life was kind of a linear open world, but because it kind of leads you in a direction. But anyway, um, but yeah, that's probably one of my favorite genres.
Right. See, I'm personally a fan of strategy games, RPGs, strategy RPGs. For example, Pokemon, which we've got here in the background running.
Yes,
Um, and
which
I
there was a little while I just saw you sitting there, and I was like, oh no, is my stream behind or something?
I'm gonna be
But
honest,
then,
the the starter choices they gave me are awful. I,
ooh.
I wanted to light them on fire, so I didn't really. So this runs off Nuzlocke rules, which is basically if something faints, it's gone. It's gone from your party. You lose it.
Okay. So is that
So
something you're doing yourself, or is that something that's
it
built in?
it's something with this ROM hack. It does that automatically.
Mm. Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
it started me off with some really bad things, and
Were the starters random?
yep, everything's random. So that's why I've been running around in this little area for a second. I'm trying to figure out what these two are.
You're trying to find them all and everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a decent coverage team, which I've got these two, Bagon and Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl being just an amazing Pokemon. But,
Hmm.
but yeah. So let's flip it then. What is your least
He
favorite? Well,
just a side note. Aerodactyl looks like a Jay Leno bat. Um.
he's got the jaw for it. He's got the jaw for it.
Now he just needs a bunch of classic cars, and he'll be set. Wait. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
What's your least favorite genre of game? What is a
Um.
genre you just you see a game say that, it doesn't matter how good it looks. You're just like, I ain't playing that.
Fighters.
Really?
I don't like fighters. I've never been good with combos. Like, and it's one of those things. It's like I don't want to, because I'm more of a casual gamer. I don't I It's not fun for me to sit here and practice combos. It's like I just want to play the game. So if you have to like sit there and practice combos to have any chance of doing anything, higher than, medium, if if there's different difficulties and stuff. But then I'm like, I don't know. It's it's not always my cup of tea. Like I have um Smash Bros, but I'm it's one of those things I'm kind of stuck with it, and then I just haven't played it in forever, and I'm like, well, eh, I don't know.
So you're not a button masher or anything like that. You just genuinely do not enjoy them. Yep. Oh, did I lose you, Nick?
What? Sorry.
So you're not a button masher or anything. You just genuinely don't enjoy the games. Oh.
There you go. What? Sorry.
So you're not a button masher or anything. You just genuinely don't enjoy the games.
Well, if I do play, like when I do end up playing Elias, sometimes I end up just button mashing. And side note, I do end up beating him sometimes, which I don't know. I feel like it's a little awkward for him, but I digress.
He's used to it. So for me, honestly, my least favorite genre is probably shooters. I'm not good at them. So I'll check them out, but at the same time, it's like I'm just doing the story mode. Call of Duty, Battlefield. Well, actually, I do enjoy Battlefield, but
Hmm.
outside that, I
I
just play through the campaign and then I'm done.
I do like shooter campaigns, and honestly, I only really play the multiplayer if other people are playing. Like, I've not, I don't enjoy just sitting in lobbies by myself playing people. Like, I have much more fun playing with other people when it comes to shooters. Which is why I do get a little hesitant on buying some shooters, because I'm like, someone else better get this and play it, or I'm not touching it just once the campaign's done.
I understand that. I really do. It's yeah, again,
Well, like
that's
I told myself just yesterday, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play a game of COD. I played one game. I went like 22-8, top of the leaderboard, and I said, all right, cool. I got my game in, and then I left and didn't open it again.
I can't blame you that. I do genuinely agree that the quality of Call of Duty has gone down.
It it's not as bad as Madden, as like cookie cutter, just like cut and paste, reskin it, but it's giving more and more of those vibes. Now,
Oh,
Madden is a textbook example of reskinning a game for you the past, probably like 6 years. But Call of Duty does have variations to it, especially with the different studios alternating. But it uh,
well,
it it doesn't need to come out every year.
well,
I don't think.
my problem with Call of Duty is more the player base.
Yes,
Because if I round the corner and this person will just break out dancing, and I just sit there and I'm like, oh well, he just killed me. Okay, jumping,
it's
crouching,
the
things like that, and it's like,
bunny hopping. Bunny hopping's annoying. Drop shotting, and honestly, TikTok and streamers have ruined the gaming community because people see. Okay, not ruined,
no, I agree,
but
ruined. They're awful. As a
well, because
streamer, yes, they're
I,
awful.
I can understand enjoying watching someone play something. That's not the problem. It's the people seeing that and being, oh, they're good. Well, I want to be good. I'm gonna do what they're doing. So everyone's got the same meta guns. Everyone's got the same strat. everyone's bunny hopping, everyone's crouching, everyone's head glitching over, those barricades. Everyone like, bruh, we get it. You're on the internet. Just play the game. Like I just got done with my 9 to 5, my 8 to 5. I'm coming home just trying to casually play, and I just happen to have 3 good games, and then all of a sudden I feel horrible about myself and don't want to pick up the game for 2 days.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if that's what you all, I'm gonna start that sentence over. If that's what you have to do to have fun with the game, then you're not having fun with the game. I sit at the end of a hallway with an LMG and just unload. I'm having fun. I just whacked up 15 kills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like just do that.
yeah, just walk around and shoot them. Like you're
like
putting way too much brain power into this game that
like
it's
like if
oh.
you're looking up gun builds, like buddy, just slap something on that looks cool and roll with it. Like they're like in Modern, like the old Modern Warfare 2. My favorite thing was I'd have the AUG with the like not monolithic, the like Goliath suppressor. That thing was like 2 feet long and a good like 6 inches thick. That thing looked goofy as hell. I love that thing. I don't even know what it did.
I even make my sniper rifle as small as possible. Like
Well,
I'm,
Colby, you do know that that is the strat now, right?
it's everything is the strat now. Like, it's just people who take them that serious. Surskit, no.
See, those are also the kind of people who brag about KDs. Like I understand having a good game and being like, "Yo, man, I just went 18 and 12. Yo, I'm feeling good." But if you're like outside, like not playing the game and you brag about a KD, like, buddy, calm down. Join the army and get a real KD.
Don't do,
Sorry, sorry.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Can always cut that out, right?
We ain't got anything. That stays in.
Jeez.
My Surskit won't though. It almost died. Oh, shiny and it's got super luck. Okay. This thing's gonna be a menace if I evolve it.
hmm.
Super luck means it gets a critical hit more often, and
Makes sense.
yeah.
See that's the Pokemon strat, the grass. I know that you're if you're like, man, I'm looking for a Pokemon. You're like, man, I gotta go in the grass. I know that. Literally, the only Pokemon game I've played is Pokemon is like something like Pikachu edition on the Game Boy Color.
Oh, Yellow Edition. That's an old
Yes,
one.
yes, that's the only Pokemon game I've played, and that's because my brother had it. My brother got it, or like my parents got it for my brother because it was popular, but like we never really got into it.
That game, Yellow Edition, was probably honestly one of my favorite games.
I picked it up like probably 4 years ago, and I got to a point where there was like a Snorlax blocking the way, and I couldn't figure out how to move it, so I just was like, oh well, and just never picked it up again.
Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow were some of the most important games in the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
They were fucking garbage.
Hmm.
And they were held together by bubble gum and pipe cleaners. Like those games were bad. It
I
is
mean,
a
it was on. Wait, the I thought you were just saying that the yellow was really good.
it's a very
The
fun
poke.
game,
Oh,
but
but
like
okay.
on a technical standpoint, those games shouldn't even run. They
Well,
are
I mean, it was
disasters.
it was on a Game Boy Color. Uh, I, I tried playing Mario Golf on that. I actually had Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color, and I was lost half the time. And then if you didn't have a spotlight shining on it, you couldn't see what was going on.
they had a spotlight attachment.
I had it.
Yeah, I
I
did.
had it.
Did yours burn out immediately?
No, no, no. It actually still works. The last time I used it, it still works. And I actually remember playing it. We were driving home from Ohio at night, and I remember just shining that little light on the screen. It was probably like 8 o'clock at night, playing it. Uh,
Jeez.
Fun times.
I remember when the SP came out and it had that light up screen.
The backlit. Oh, I thought it was the coolest stuff ever.
It was the clamshell design, everything about that spawned into so much. Like the SP led to the DS, which led to the
Mm,
3DS, which led to the Switch. Like it it was an amazing little thing they made there.
yes. Nintendo mastered handheld consoles.
Yeah, and there's not really anyone that's I think better at innovating than Nintendo. Like they
Yeah,
started the whole motion control phase.
yeah. I mean, the only like contender for like portable gaming was the PSP.
Yeah,
But
and
even then,
PSP had some great games on it, but yeah, nothing holds people like the Nintendo DS did or the Game Boy Advance or
yeah,
yeah,
it like, bruh, I'd love it if they made Nintendogs for the Switch. I'd swipe that up immediately.
I agree.
Oh,
There's
if
so much I want to come back.
if if they remastered Nintendogs, they would sell out of the online version, if that's even possible.
Um, Nintendo, I just think they are the best innovators when it comes to video games, especially with hardware. They're a toy company that makes games.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
So when they need to make something new, they're not just going to go, well, the last generation was the Xbox, so we're going to do the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X.
They're
No, they're going to
the
just,
they're the Pixar of the gaming community.
yeah, they're just going to throw something at the wall and say, well, that looks like a vague shape. Let's make that into a console. What are we going to call it? Who knows?
The they turn the ink blot test into controllers.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, people have two hands. Well, here, let's put a weird stick in the middle. So if you never held one before, you don't know how to hold it."
I love the or the 64 controller. I don't know why I
Yeah,
did. I've got really big. I'm 6'6". I've got massive hands, and that controller always just felt really good to me. And I
yeah,
think it's
like
because
it worked, but just if you showed an alien like, hey, here's the human anatomy, how would you hold this controller? Like,
it's just the 64 was my first home console. Like my uncle
mm,
had an Xbox, but I never played on it. The 64 was mine,
mm.
so I didn't know what a normal controller looked like.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, our first was the NES, and like, I was playing Kirby and Lion King. Man, side note, Lion whoever made Nintendo the NES Lion King, um, go die in a hole. I don't know what adult Simba looks like in that game. I tried playing that game as an adult. I still I can't get past those stupid draft heads in the I can't wait to be king segment. Oh my lord. But at the same time, my Kirby addiction is still thriving. I just played. I actually just streamed that Kirby Deluxe game this morning.
Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I saw you were live. I didn't know it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that. I adore Kirby games. Oh,
yes.
I adore Kirby games. It's just, I
There's
think,
something so simple about them. Like I actually just finished Kirby in the Forgotten Land the other day, and I was in the party with Haunting and Sam, and I was like, "Yo, I just beat the final boss," and and I was like, "Man, I actually almost died." And Sam was like, "Well, yeah, it's a Kirby game, like it's easy." And I'm like, "I don't care, like it's fun." I enjoy. There's something so simplistic about Kirby games, and like the music slaps. And,
I Kirby and the Crystal Shards is one of my all-time favorite games, and you can actually play it on the Switch right now with the N64.
oh, really?
Yeah, that is one of my all-time favorite games. That was my first Kirby game, and it's got like you can combine the powers.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Interesting.
if you combined electricity and cutting, you would get a
Mm-hmm.
lightsaber.
Oh, that's lit.
Eh, Or you could double up on a power. Like if you doubled up on rock, you would just turn into a giant statue.
Huh. See, that was something Kirby and the Forgotten Lands kind of did, was they had it to where you could level up the different abilities, and I thought that was really cool. Um,
I did
but
want
something wait, what? Sorry.
I did want to pick up Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I
Oh,
was
love it.
I was gonna wait till Christmas this year because they're putting out. It feels like a bunch of Kirby games this year, so they'll
Hmm.
probably have a sale.
Yeah, probably. Well, and then when I was just playing that Return to Dreamland, they brought back the mini games that were with Kirby Superstar, like that ninja mini game, and the one where you like punch the ground really hard and try to make a bigger crack than the other people, than the
Yeah,
other AIs. Oh, so much fun. I actually made a highlight clip of it from my stream, me playing the ninja game, because I want to send it to my brother later, because I'm sure he'll love how it's basically how they remastered it.
if I remember that one right, it's just a reflex test, isn't it? Hear the noise, press A.
Yeah, yeah, yes,
Yep.
and I want all of them except on hard mode against Meta Knight. I I I tied with him, which I didn't think was possible. I tied with him on the first one, and then on the retry, I lost.
You can tie in that game
Yeah,
when it.
because it was yeah, yeah. At if 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 you go on my Twitch page, in the highlights or like the clips or whatever, um, towards the end of that one, I actually tie with Meta Knight because we both went at 16 milliseconds, and then he beat me because I didn't go faster than the 16 milliseconds on the second try. I was thrown aback.
Oh,
Sorry, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Gone.
this is going to be very not fun.
Ooh, gym battle.
Yep. Oh, it's. Oh, never mind. It's Brawly.
Oh, easy.
Dude's a fighting type gym leader. Oh my god, Tyro has no moves. I didn't look at you before I. Hmm. Okay. So, we went on Tyro there about Kirby, which, again, Kirby games are really fun.
Oh yeah, they're they're simple enough to where you're not rage quitting,
Yeah,
and
I
you
think.
can step away from them for a while and come back. You know, play a couple minutes, and you're like, okay, okay, I'm back in it.
So, do you have any other series that's like that that you just genuinely really love?
Um, Red Dead series, love it. Um,
So, Red Dead.
SpongeBob games, so like Battle for Bikini Bottom, Lights, Camera, Pants, and that new one, Cosmic Shake. They're so simple, but you know, it's got a theme that is enjoyable for me.
So you tend to like games that are just simpler, easier to get through.
Usually, yeah.
That's understandable. Not everyone
But
wants to
and
sit and commit
but I mean,
60 to
it's
80
not that
hours.
I won't play the harder stuff. Like I mean, I've been playing Hogwarts. I finished well, I'm almost done with Hogwarts Legacy. I just need to level up. But so it's not that I won't play harder stuff, but sometimes it's nice to just play those simple games.
Well, not everyone has 60 to 80 hours to commit to a game.
Exactly.
In my case, I like playing games that you have to commit 100 hours to. Again, this was something we brought up with Elias, who wanted to stream. What was it they wanted to stream? Persona 5. And he
Hmm.
said, "Oh, I want to perfect the game." And I said, "I perfected it on PlayStation. My save file was 140 hours. If you're only playing when you're streaming it and you stream it like once a week, you're not doing it."
That's gonna take you way too long.
Yeah. So, you know, games like that, they are commitments, and I really understand not wanting to do that all the time. Um,
No, yeah, I just don't always have the time to make a full on commitment like that. Unfortunately.
so, what is your proudest gaming achievement?
Oh, 100 what was yeah, I can't talk. 100%ing Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Like I got to pull that lever at the top of the Rebel base on Endor and not Endor, Yavin 4 on Yavin 4 on which it was kind of upsetting because oh, you just bought everything in the game. Here's unlimited studs. Oh, thanks. But
What do you even use them for at that point?
nothing. You've bought everything. Or if you're 100, or if you're 100% in the game, you have like a million studs. So like even after I bought everything, like all the characters, all the ships, like that's what took me like at the end. Um, I did everything, and I was like, why am I not 100%? And I was like, oh, I have to buy everything. So I just sat there and just bought everything. I still had well over a million studs because you also bought all the power, all the like level ups or something. I think you had to buy all the like level ups, so you were having like the 10 times multiplier on studs. So you were just going ham on stud collection. So like you don't need unlimited studs. But I was like, whatever. I 100%ing it, 100%ed it. So
Yeah,
that was nice.
that
I
feels
enjoyed
like
that.
you were supposed to unlock it before you bought
Mm.
everything, but but that'd be weird.
Wait, what? Sorry.
It feels like you were supposed to get that before you bought everything, but it'd be
It, it,
weird if
you can't pull the lever until you 100%, and to 100%, you have to buy everything. Which, yeah, I don't understand why it's unlimited studs. I really don't. I remember for like Star Wars: The Clone Wars, or like Lego Star Wars: The Clone Wars, it was like a mini kit, or like it was like a ship or something like that. It was actually something you could use in the game. But which I mean, once you 100%, you're not really doing much with the game anyway. But still, mm.
sorry, that seems like it was a bad memory for you there.
It's not that it was a bad memory. Like I mean, I enjoyed doing it and it was cool. Because I never really full on 100% at a game. Because I did want to 100% Red Dead 2, but I think the farthest I got was 92%, and I was like, ugh, I have to get all the legendary fish and like do all the legendary hunting and all that, and like and I was just like, ugh, that's too much. And then I just lost interest and started playing something else.
Think you'll ever go back and do it?
I would like to, but realistically, I probably won't.
I mean, we've got that show that will start be pumping out on Monday. The casual grinding. You could do it then.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
kind of start a new story and
Oh, I was just gonna
maybe
say clean it up on your current save.
I might have deleted it actually because I wanted to play the story again. I can't remember. I know that sounds crazy, but I was like, oh, I kind of want to play this game again
Yeah,
because
my jaw's a little agape. That's all. Just
uh,
uh, we all
I
enjoy
mean,
games.
I love Red Dead 2, so it was worth it to me. And side note, Kentucky lost to Vanderbilt yesterday, but A&M beat Arkansas. So A&M's playing Vanderbilt, and A&M's up against Vanderbilt at halftime, 49-25. It's kind of comical.
Man, those are words you just said to me. I don't know anything about sports.
Giga Maggies. That's all I gotta say. All right. Um, my brother still works for A&M, so
Mm.
it's so it was actually cool. Last weekend, I went I went down to see him in College Station, and he was for his birthday because his wife was out of town for something, and he was like, "Oh, just by the way, I have a game on Saturday morning." And I was like, "Oh, just give me tickets. I'll go." And he said, "Oh, sorry, it's sold out. I literally can't get you staff tickets. But don't worry, I'll get you credentials and get you in." So I had to go with him to his office at 6:30 in the morning, have him, print out stuff, help him set up things, and like he gives me like a staff pass. So like I had to wear a polo and jeans, like at like a official um basically I got one of those like sideline polos that the Adidas polos, and so I wore that, and he gave me a staff pass, and then I was just kind of following him around all day. He introduced me to the graduate assistants and stuff, and just kind of help him set up, and then I sat in like a reserved seat and next to the band, and that was really cool. And then it was cool too because I was like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So then I walked down to the court and then walked under the seats and used those bathrooms because I started my staff pass that he gave me. But that was cool. Uh, Sorry about that little
Well,
sidetrack.
that's fun. We've got plenty of time. I don't know how long you want to run this. I can run it forever. Um,
Hannah's at work till 7, my 7 o'clock. So we got till your 8.
oof. I don't think we should make it that long. I'd like to keep some people to watch through the whole thing.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
I was shooting for about 2 hours on us here.
Okay.
So we've been going for, what, an hour now?
Really? It's been that long?
48 minutes.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Huh.
So you said all that. I could not imagine sitting next to a band and enjoying whatever I'm at. It doesn't matter where I was at. If you put me next to a band and say, "Yeah, this is your seat," I'm going home.
Well, I mean, it's a small like just pep band, and they were only playing. I mean, they don't play the entire time, so I mean, it's not as bad as it sounds, but um, I mean, then again, I was at my freshman year at UK. I was in the marching band and pep band and stuff, so I'm used to that kind of environment. But yeah, I that game was a good time.
I was in band back when I was in middle school. I played the baritone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a fun way to learn you're tone deaf.
Oh, I found out I was tone deaf too. But I stayed in band, and I was a saxophone, and then senior year, my band director was like, "Hey, do you want to march tuba, march sousaphone?" I was like, "Sure." So, so I did that, but then I stayed saxophone. Well, I played baritone saxophone in concert band that year, which loved that. The music was so much easier.
I always struggled. What were they? The little press things to change the tune. I always struggled to keep those properly oiled.
Oh, the keys,
Yeah.
key oil.
Yeah. And I overdid it one time, so they just got all sticky, and I was like,
Ooh.
I know how this sounds, so I'm just gonna make the noise with my mouth through the baritone, and no one noticed. So
Well, I mean, that's all that matters.
either it worked really well or really awfully, and they just didn't care.
Hmm. Yeah, it was always fun the days before competitions. We'd always have to polish our horns and like the sousaphones because it's just how big they were. We kind of all did it as a big group after practice.
I
It was fun.
I remember when I told my mom I joined the band, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And I told her I was gonna play in the brass section. She said, "Oh, okay." And I think she thought I was playing like
A trumpet.
trumpet, trombone, something. And I brought that
Mm.
big baritone down. And for those listening that don't know what a baritone is, it's like between a
It's
trumpet
large.
and a tuba.
It's it's it it's it looks like a small tuba, basically.
And I brought that thing home in its case, and it was too big for my
Oh,
front door. And I said, "This is
of
what I'm
course,
playing, Mom."
of course it was. Of course it was.
Well, back then we lived in a trailer, so
Oh,
it had no soundproof. For anyone who wondering just how white trash I am, I lived in a trailer
I honestly didn't know that.
like 2 years, 3 years. I lived in one. And I was like, man, this sucks.
Hmm.
It's cold in winter and hot in summer. I'm getting
See,
flinch locked
and
by this
now,
fucking Meowth. I'm going to kill myself.
uh,
In game. It's dead. Bagon is dead.
oh no, not Bagon. Oh, you got me out pretty good.
Okay. Get me away from this demon Aerodactyl. But
I'm just waiting for one of your Pokemon to just get absolutely like just one shot.
a Murkrow did. Murkrow's gone.
What's bag? Oh, like what's in
Items.
your bag, like
Yeah.
health and stuff.
I tend not to use them just out of pride. Um
There you go. Are you gonna pick up that Meowth?
no, it's a corpse. It's another trainer's Pokemon, but also I never want to see another Meowth.
I don't know why my Discord hates me, but to pick up that Meowth.
No. It's
Oh,
another trainer's Pokemon. This is a battle, but
hmm. Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. This is not a great team that I'm running with, but I'm making progress, and that's all that matters. So I'm playing this. Have you ever looked at playing through like fan games or super indie games, stuff that's like not stuff you have to go out and find?
Uh, I mean, I've played like Stray. Um, I mean, I don't have anything against indie games. Um, I don't know. I guess part of it's just like I want to make sure it works well, uh, or that it plays well. But like, I don't know. I've played a couple indie games. I'm not fully against it.
'Cause I know Elias is big on them.
Yes.
I tend to dislike the really pixelated, like
Mm,
16-bit, 18-bit, or not 16-bit, 18-bit, 8-bit, things like that.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Like, I saw here, let me pull one up here. I'm gonna post it in the Discord.
Okay. Yeah, there was this one that I played where like you were playing as this person who came back to their hometown and like you took up your dad's like job as like a mail as like a postal worker or something. And I was like, okay, and there was like a story to it and stuff. Can't remember the name of it, but um, it it was all right. I mean, it was shorter, simple. Where you basically
Okay.
just kind of got to pick what happened to like your current job and like what happened with different you know not necessarily like romantic relationships but like friendships with other people in town and stuff like that. That was fun. Where'd you post it?
I'm about to post it.
Oh, okay.
So here, I'm gonna post it over in our little notes. Oh no, we got a chat here.
Ah,
Here,
that's
this
cool.
is.
You can do different activities
Yeah,
and
I
like watch
saw that.
YouTube and stuff and play Landio or whatever that is. That's cool. That's
There,
cool.
I posted it in our little chat there.
Uh,
On podcast stream, there should be like a little messenger icon, and that'll open it.
oh, there it is.
Yep. So that is an in-game screenshot from a game called Garden of Bonbon.
Is it a horror game?
Yes, but that's an indie
Ah,
game. It's made by like 2 people.
interesting.
So that's kind of where I'm like, your 8-bit games and things like that, I don't enjoy them. I don't like the
They,
look. They usually got some ham-fisted message. Just make me
but
something. Yeah.
they do them for a niche retro aspect. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Or sometimes, and I do understand that sometimes that's all that they can do.
Yes.
But they're not. What was that
Well,
one that came out that made it all the way to Game Pass? Amori? And people were.
I'm not sure.
It was like. It was real 16-bit. People were like, oh, it's so charming and it looks so nice and all this. And I'm like, it looks like Earthbound. Like, and that just makes it dated. And again, people like different things. That's.
No, yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's literally just our personal preference.
But I'm not going to seek out those games and enjoy them. I'm going to look for things like that, things that have a lot of work put into them, things that have more than just a story. Like, I want to enjoy what I'm playing. I don't want to struggle through and not understand what I'm looking at, and at the end just like, oh, this was the message. I don't
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that. And unfortunately, what I am describing is about 60% of indie games. So I'm not going to say like 90. I know that there is a lot out there that's a lot of work went in, a lot of time and care
Hmm.
and things like that.
A lot of modeling and
It's just it feels like
was
every.
Cold was Cult of the Lamb an indie game?
Let me check.
Like, I know it's got like, obviously it's got like a developer and stuff, but like,
Yes,
okay,
Massive
L-
Monster is an indie dev.
love Cult of the Lamb. Love Cult of the Lamb. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like the game should tell your message, be fun, and not hurt my eyes to look at.
Yes. And I thought Cult of the Lamb had a really cool art style. It
Cult of
was
the
like
Lamb had a lot of really cool to it. The
it
whole
was like it was like a 3D 2D thing. It looked like stacked paper.
It was really fun to watch and play, and the Twitch integration was amazing. That's what I'm saying.
I saw something about that. It looked cool.
So, but then you get these games that are just walk to another room. Oh, she's dead. Walk to another room. Oh, this is the knife that killed her. Walk to other room. Oh, here is some nondescript monster.
Walk back to this other room.
And it's like, where's the game?
It's like the map is like 6 rooms.
At this point, just make it a video and upload it. Don't force gameplay where it's not needed just because you want to tell a story. And it feels like, again, we looked at RPG Maker because we have a project we are working on.
Which are we technically still working on that?
I've not heard anything about it. I think when we deviated away from the original idea, a lot of people lost interest.
Yeah.
I'm out $80 for the RPG Maker kit that I bought, so
I'm sorry.
it's whatever. Um, yeah, I'll just be an indie dev. I'll just make something.
Nothing wrong with that.
I can't make an art asset to save my life, but I'll do something.
Oh, you'll buy them. You'll keep buying them.
I'll just put the game up for free, and if you like it, donate.
There you go.
Yeah. But I've played enough RPGs. I can make a generic RPG. I think.
No, the real money. Battle passes. Have a battle pass. Free game. Have a battle pass. Perfect.
I can't remember the last time I bought a battle pass.
It's been a minute. I remember when we were playing Apex for like a solid 2 months, like every day, and then the new season came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this battle pass. And then like 2 days later, two days later, we never picked it up again. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah, we rotate in and out games like that.
Yeah.
It takes a while for something to fall off. Like, it always feels like, yeah, we're just never going to play this game again. It takes a while for something to fall off our rotation.
Yes.
Because
But
it's.
when it falls off, it falls off.
Apex is still in rotation because I know pretty much everyone still has it installed. Just no one's in the mood to
Yes.
play it.
Well,
Well, I've not actually talked to anyone in like a month and a half because I've just not been feeling it, but.
That's fair. We kind of started playing Fortnite a little bit.
Fortnite.
Maybe like a couple games, like 3 or 4 games before we get off. But
I do not support Epic Games. They do a lot of shady things and they do a lot of stupid things.
I'm not saying they don't.
So I just don't play. It's like Blizzard games. I play Diablo, and that is, me being a hypocrite with them, but everything else, I just avoid it like the plague.
It's like, man, you've done some shady stuff, but this is a good game.
I do like Diablo. If there was another series that did it as well as they do, and it was as fun, I'd ditch it in a heartbeat.
Are you I heard something about a new Diablo coming out.
Diablo 4, yeah.
Yes, Diablo 4. I'm guessing you're gonna get that.
I will.
Have you pre-ordered it?
I have not. I'm waiting. There's a few things I want to pre-order. Rune Factory 3, which is probably one of my all-time favorite series.
Mm-hmm.
They're re-releasing Rune Factory 3, which was my favorite game, as a special edition on the Switch. And I'm going to pre-order that. Starfield comes out this year. I'm probably going to pre-order that. But something else comes out like right before Starfield, and I don't remember what it was. Actually, that's going to bother me. Give me just a second here.
Okay.
Video game releases 2023. Oh yeah, Jedi Survivor is supposed to come out this year. Are you gonna play that?
Ooh, yes, 1000% yes.
I'll have to watch some people play through that. Oh right, the new Legend of Zelda is supposed to come out this year. I've got to pre-order that.
Oh yeah, my boss was telling me about that.
Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, Diablo 4 is in June. Street Fighter 6 is also in June, and Etrian Odyssey. June's gonna be a busy month for me. Story of Seasons. It's Baldur's Gate. It's Baldur's Gate 3. That's what's coming out. Okay,
Mm.
I don't need to pre-order that. I've had that since early access, since it first came up for early access forever ago. And they said that they're just going to upgrade me to the collector's edition, digital deluxe edition, or whatever, for free.
Nice.
Okay, Rune Factory 3 Special is on September 5th. Starfield is September 6th. Crap. I've got like 20 days of PTO. I'm just going to use it all right then and there.
Bro, I wish I had 20 days of PTO.
That is the best thing about working at my new job. I'm not, part of my contract is I'm not allowed to say on record where I work.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to act as a representative in any way, shape, or form.
Interesting.
But I did just start the job and it's been going fantastic.
That's good.
We
Hope
had a
hope it stays that way.
we had a whole week of benefits. Like they just went over what benefits we get from working there for a full week.
Nice.
And that was just one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, oh. It's I've worked a lot of bad jobs before, so
Yes.
I'm very used to that boot dropping at some point.
You're like, man, this job sounds pretty good. Well, psych. There's a reason it sounds good. But
But
this one actually seems genuine.
it's one of those things where it's like they keep
Genuine.
um they keep tackling things that are worrying about me. So I'm sitting there, I was like, so I'm working customer service,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sitting there thinking, well, yeah, I'm probably gonna work 18 different departments. So, oh, you're only doing this one department with this very narrow amount of calls. I think I'm doing something with documentation and if you need to change your address, and that's it. Like, if
Nice.
you need a letter sent to you or if you need to change your address, that's what we do. So it's one of those, it's just like, and then they don't say anything. Like, you'll learn more things, but that'll be more training later. In the
Yeah.
meantime, and they walked us through the IVR, when you call in, and
Mm-hmm.
it will do 90% of it for you. If you just work with it, it's got one of those AI learning things where it'll learn how you talk and what phrases you're using and then take you to the right menu to do it.
Huh.
So it is just absurd. So yeah, I'm just waiting for that boot to drop. What about you, Nick? Have you been doing anything fun with work?
Oh, I mean, we've been working on we're trying to finish up that a competition gymnasium for a small school district here in East Texas, and it's going good. We're just trying to finish that by the end of the month, and then we've been doing a bunch of other little things. Like there's these these rich people bought a dilapidated country club here in town, and it's weird. They hired an architect that used to work at my firm, but then they came to my firm. One of the owners has a license in interior design, so they came to her and were like, "Hey, can you do just the interior and like just the materials?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure." So she had me work on the 3D model and render of it all because they wanted a video walkthrough of it, which is fine. But most people, when they pay for the work of a 3D render, they use it for marketing or, or something of that sort. So like the last time we did something like that, it was for a church and it was for their like, campaign for money to raise money and stuff. No, these people were using it for their own just so that they could get a good sense of what it was going to look like. And that's it. My work is $85 an hour. They paid like $5,000 just to look at a model and say, okay, yeah, cool. So that was fun.
Do they pay
But
before or after?
wait, what? Sorry?
Do they pay before or after?
Like I did all the work and then we build them. But they wanted so many changes. It was berdonkulous. They would just send my boss. When we sent them a video of the walkthrough, which it was like exterior too. Um, we kind of conceptualized some exterior stuff and then gave it to the architect for him to actually like draw. And they 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 told my boss, man, this front entry, what if it kind of had a big glass pyramid on the top, an illuminated glass pyramid? And when my boss told me about that, I was like, I kind of chuckled and I was like the Luxor? And she was like, yes. And I stopped laughing immediately. And I was like, oh, they're serious. They saw it. So we had a meeting with them like 3 days later and showed it to them. And I probably worked like a good like 2 hours to get that pyramid to look good and everything. And immediately, no, never mind, take it off. So I took it off. And then they talked about, oh, we want this front to kind of look like a BJ's restaurant. And they were like, oh, can you pull up a photo of a BJ's real quick so we can look at one? And I said, and I was manning the computer for that meeting, and I said yes. So I open up Google, type BJ's, and then hit enter, and then immediately close that tab and said BJ's restaurants.
Smart man. Smart man. So BJ's. It's got the red triangle on it. Restaurant and brew house.
Yes, yeah. They kind of wanted a like monumental front like that. Which, we made it look good, but it was just they wanted so many different things, and like they gave us inspiration photos for furniture. So we put furniture like that in, and they were like, "Oh, we don't like any of that furniture. Can you find new stuff?" So we had to completely find new furniture, get a new furniture. It was a whole thing just for them to look at it and not use it for anything. So it was a little. I was like, "Well, they're paying us, so." But no, yeah. And then we've got just kind of, we're just kind of working on some stuff, on some other little projects and stuff to keep making money. But that competition gym's the big one. But it's so funny. The school district is so small. This competition gym has like 1,000 seats, and my boss is like, "Yeah, that's kind of a lot for them." Like the middle school is like maybe like 20 classrooms, and that's it. Just kind of in a U shape.
Yeah, that's how my school was when I was younger. Is that it was just all sports. Like they didn't care about anything else. Just get the good grades so you stay on the team, and then
Well, like it's not that they're all about sports, but like they want it is a thing here in Texas to have a separate competition gym for basketball and volleyball. So that's what they want. Because right now they're playing like basketball and volleyball where they have gym class and like where they practice.
oh, yeah, they don't
But
want to scuff the floor.
they want a different gym with like locker rooms and a weight room and and all that jazz. So I mean it'll look cool. Should look cool.
Yeah. Yeah. They,
So
they,
what's next on the docket? If you had nothing else to add.
I'm just gonna keep going from there. Just see what all
Huh?
we
Alright.
run to. Yeah, like I said, this is gonna be a lot less formal than the one we had before. Which again, I'm referring to the No Luck podcast, which we originally started. We were the first ones to have the name, but we went on hiatus there to rework how everything worked, and then from there, someone else took the name. And again, no hard feelings on that. Just
It just
happens.
happened.
Uh,
I mean, we kind of fell off, and you know,
we had to be on to fall off.
oh,
That's just,
we just we tripped.
yeah. We started to get up and go, and then fell.
Yes, in which we that was too structured.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a lot more casual. It's gonna follow this pretty much this format here of us just talking and things come as they
More of
come.
recording a conversation. Then who's next?
Yeah. And again, once everyone has cycled through once, it's gonna skip that opening part where we'd ask about your life and things like that, and just go straight into discussion things and things like that. Um, let's see, what else do I have that we can talk about? I want to avoid talking about Hogwarts Legacy just because sharing opinions on that is really, really a bad idea right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only opinion I really have is that I enjoyed the game, and I'll leave it at that.
It's not a good idea to stream it right now, things like that.
Oh, I streamed every second of it. That's
Did
awkward.
no, yeah, they people getting canceled, called out on Twitter for it.
They're getting called out on Twitter.com. Jeez,
So,
good thing I don't have any viewers.
yeah, not an issue for the core creativity team, that's for sure.
Hey, you can't get called out if no one's there to call you out. Just like how you can't get reported if no one reports you.
I've not lost my tradition of every time Elias does anything lewd in a game, reporting him.
I remember when that man would stream VR chat at work. Well, during the day on it when he had Mondays off, and that man out of the kindness of my heart, I'd watch his streams at work, and that man would do lewd things on VR chat while I'm watching him at work, and I'm like, my dude, I'm in the office. I'm watching this on my iPad. It's just classic Elias behavior.
Well, the man is a degenerate of the highest order. The plan is to have him on here next week, so. Which I plan on uploading this on Friday. I want this to be the Friday video, and for the other shows, I want the casual one to be Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and that leaves the other two somewhere to go. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think
Mm-hmm.
co-op on Wednesday, just because that feels like a good Wednesday show, and that leaves horror probably on Thursday. And
We need to try playing Phasmophobia again.
I'd like to.
One where it's not a competition to see who gets scared first, but like actually full on play the game.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think you're supposed to die as much as we did.
No, there's things to protect you and things like that. Yeah, I want to browse Steam. Actually, while I have you here, see if there's any co-op games we can pull up and. Thank you, Steam. I don't have anything fucking downloaded right now. Do you have any co-op games you've been wanting to knock out, Nick? Something we could put up?
Oh jeez. I don't know. I'm normally not looking for co-op games.
I know you usually get dragged into whatever Elias is trying to run through.
Yes.
Other than that, what do you want to play?
Oh, I don't know. That's one of those things I'd almost have to look on my Xbox
Oh,
and see what I have. But honestly, I don't even really have a ton of co-op games. Um,
I like to do something on the PC so I can record it because I can't record through Xbox.
then yeah, I definitely don't have um much. Well, I guess if you're watching this video, if 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 you're watching this, any co-op game suggestions on PC? It's not that there's a shortage of them, but um,
We're not PC gamers.
yeah, like Steam is looking through Steam is not something I'm used to. My looking through Steam is searching for something very exact that I'm looking for.
There we go. Online Xbox app, online co-op. 7 Days to Die is still in game preview. I don't think they're ever releasing that game.
Oh yeah, there are games on the. I have games downloaded on the Xbox app, but I don't have a ton. I have Solitaire, Sea of Thieves. Got Sea of Thieves.
I'd love to do another Sea of Thieves stream.
I've played. I normally played Sea of Thieves on my PC, but I haven't played it. I mean, on my Xbox. But I'm sure it's the same game because I downloaded it on the Xbox app on PC, so I'm sure it'd carry the game over. I don't know. It usually seems to be decently good at that. Um, Grounded. Oh yeah.
Oh, it'd be nice. For
Yeah.
those who actually did pay attention to our streams, we were streaming Grounded.
Great
However,
game. Great game.
it is very fun, very terrifying.
Yes. But the online servers
We couldn't
need
keep
work.
going. We've switched to Minecraft temporarily. Our goal is to beat it, but
with
we're
without
throwing.
dying.
Yep, if we die, world ends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we start all over from scratch. And if we ever die, like if we die when we're getting the end portal set up and going to fight the dragon, and then we have to start all over from there, I might just give up on it. Like,
Like that's one of those things that's like that I have such a bad habit of that when it comes to games. Like when things are looking so hopeful and then you die in a really stupid way and you just lose all hope immediately. You're like, I don't even want to play this anymore. That's irritating.
I will say, I didn't say it during the stream, but I did have one chatter, and when we were explaining the rules, he did say, "Oh, so Elias is gonna be the one to die. Stuff him in a room full of hay." Apparently, if you jump into hay, it nullifies the damage. So I didn't know that. So I might build a room of hay and just put it around Elias when he spawns.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, no, 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 you stay there.
No, no, no. He's like, hey, yes, it is. Um, hey, wait a minute.
What is this? Proteus?
Um,
This is online. It's Humble Games, so it's indie. Do you see this on the Xbox app?
you still playing Pokemon?
Oh yeah, I was looking at co-op games. That's me.
So I'd say it's been pretty still.
Yeah, I've got it set up so it's
Uh,
only. Oh, okay. I've got it set up so it's only recording this screen and audio, and it's
mm-hmm.
only streaming this screen to Discord. So if I tab out, it just freezes.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha, gotcha.
I don't have it set to run in the background because I don't want it to do something I don't know about.
Sea Dot's evolving?
Yeah.
Whoa. Nuzleaf. How
Yeah.
exciting.
I don't think this Pokemon has been in a game for like 3 generations. And I don't think it
Hmm.
was on the list of Pokemon that are coming back, so that makes me a little sad.
Interesting.
There's a lot of Pokemon that haven't come back in a while. which makes a lot of people angry with some of the ones that do come back because we've not
It's like,
received.
why bring that? Why bring those back when you got this one?
So there was a Pokemon called Toucannon, which is a toucan that shoots boulders out like a cannon, and
That's lit.
I'm gonna post a picture of it here in the chat. Let you see it.
Please do. That he sounds lit.
Let's see. Oh, upload Toucannon. Here we go. So there's Toucannon.
Load, dang it. Load you. It literally just looks like a toucan.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's not been in a game since its first game. It's not come back at all.
That's sad.
But this generation we got Bruxish back. And I'm gonna post a picture of Bruxish and you tell me which one you would rather have in a game.
Alright, alright.
There you go.
The toucan.
What's wrong with Bruxish, Nick? Tell me. Is it the fact that that color scheme is murder on the eyes?
That I was gonna say it looks like she's eyeballing me from across the bar with her husband.
Well, that's funny because that one's a male.
Oof. Well, there. Well, now I'm canceled.
How dare you assume it's gender?
I'm canceled.
This generation, it just brought back a bunch of weird Pokemon. Maybe Toucannon's coming back with the DLC. That is actually the biggest left turn I think I've ever seen Pokemon take was start adding DLC.
Yeah, Pokemon doesn't really sound like DLC unless you add in like other gyms or something like that.
They're adding regions this time. Last time it was just you go over to this place or this place, but now it sounds like they're adding actual regions with actual storylines.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that.
So they're almost it almost sounds like they're dipping their toes in what Mario Kart did with instead of making a whole new game, they just doubled the amount of tracks in DLC.
So it's not. It's hard to explain because with Pokemon Sword and Shield, we also had DLC.
Yeah.
Which bothered people a little bit, but it's whatever. But the difference here is the way that they worded it. Is it makes it sound like we're actually leaving the region, which is weird. Because that's never been a thing before. Well, the second games you could. In Pokemon Gold and Silver, Soul Silver, Heart Gold, you could go back to the region the first games were in. But that's the only time you've ever done that. And that was like late 90s. So if they're going to put us back in an old region, that'd be absurd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it, but you know. But it looks like they might be going back to Gen 3 because it was a lot of Hoenn Pokemon that they showed. So. I don't know. Nintendo is just that company. Again, we were singing their praises a bit ago, but they're also always just really behind with things like that. Every few months we get the Switch 2 rumor because the Switch is extremely out of date at this point.
It is, but then I feel like Nintendo still makes their games to match, so it doesn't feel like it's as out of date as it is.
Oh, so yeah, you don't play Pokemon, so you kind of missed the whole big debacle over just how bad Scarlet and Violet run.
I did hear about it.
It's bad. And eventually, this dude who his whole thing is breaking the camera for games and messing with it
Hmm.
discovered partially why they load so awful is that that only loads what you're looking at, but it's an open world game. So that means it's loading everything in that direction.
Ooh.
And then when you turn, now it's loading everything in that direction and it's unloading that.
Yeah, I've heard that that's how like some open world games work, but it's almost one of those things you got to kind of make the world to limit the distance that it loads.
So, so yeah, it's got a lot of issues. I can't blame it all on Nintendo. I think the Pokemon Company, I think they're going a bit too fast. The Pokemon Company being a separate entity in Nintendo that just
Yeah,
handles Pokemon things. I think they're going too fast. It's been like a game a year right now.
I feel like a game a year, just for any game in general, is too fast. I feel like it's getting. I feel like games are so graphic heavy nowadays. To make a good game, like good content, and make it look good, you need at least a year and a half to make it look to keep in a to keep to keep innovating and keep kind of doing what Pixar is doing, and what Pixar is known for doing, and like making each movie look better and better in some form or fashion, and like what they used to do with sports games where each game looked better and better, but now they're just reskinning each year and not doing anything new. So now it's just like, you do that for 5 years. Well, Madden 23 looks like Madden 18. So it's like, I, and like all these Call of Duties and stuff coming out every year. It's just, and then it's like, oh, gotta pay another $70. But if they're gonna be $70, it's like, okay, I kind of want to have a chance to play it for a while, especially if it's gonna be a game like that. But
I mean, now EA started putting everything on Game Pass,
which I'm all for.
which again, but I've been a big sufferer of what you're talking about. I play the WWE games.
Hmm.
I did not even beat the story mode of 2K22.
Hmm.
That game is a buggy mess. The story was just ham-fisted. I'm about to make a decision here, actually, Nick. Look, so this gentleman is saying he
Hmm.
will trade all of my Pokemon and give me random Pokemon back.
Oh,
I'm pressing A.
what if they're lower level from what you got?
They should be the same level. Trade Pokemon
Okay.
are always the same level. If not, there's a chick in there with a Chansey that's level 1 that gives a million experience. I got my Surskit back.
Nice.
Damn it. I've got Aerodactyl back. Did he give me anything new? Oh,
Oh shoot.
that's one of my
Feel
favorite
it.
Pokemon right there.
Nice.
There's a Graveler, Charmeleon, Shelder.
Hey, Charmeleon.
I've got an out.
So was it a good decision?
That's a real mixed bag answer there. I've got a sudden immense water type weakness.
Huh.
I 4/6 of my team is weak to water now.
Nice. Is there any way to have a bigger team?
No, you're always
Okay.
limited to 6. Uh,
Hmm.
hmm. So Surskit will evolve in one level and it'll get Intimidate, so that's not bad. Aerodactyl is literally not any different, I think. Um, yeah, Yeah, pressure. Oh no, it's actually worse. Okay, it's got a bad nature, but it has the same moves. Okay, what do you have? Prevents recoil damage. Hmm. Okay, I just gotta make it work.
You got it. I feel like we're about to come up on 2 hours here.
We've got 20 minutes. So,
Nice.
has there ever been a game you've been too afraid to ever play? Like, it looks fun, but you're
Uh,
not sure if you'll enjoy it, or it looks too complicated to play.
hmm.
For me, it was the Dark Souls series.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with that. Just those kind of like Dark Souls games. Like that just seems like too much a commitment that I'm willing to put into a game.
Like, once I actually started playing them, it was like, oh yeah, I understand all this. But like, just from the outside looking in, there are people talking about iframes and builds and this is bad, this is good, and all that. And it's like, okay, but 8 different people that are said to be experts are saying 8 different things. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's right. I don't know how to play it. And then
I,
you,
I feel like that's part of a lot of people's problems when they're first playing Souls like games is that they read in too much on what other people are doing and then not focusing on what they want to do or how they play.
and then I got in there and it's like, oh, there is no right way to play.
Yeah.
Just do whatever gets you through the boss. I
It's a
typically,
I I feel like it's a trial and error kind of thing.
a lot of people say clerics aren't that great or they're not as good as just melee builds or magic builds because it's a hybrid and it doesn't specialize one way or the other. It just does this. And I'm like, oh, that's what I have fun doing. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. You know, that's what gets me through. And like, yeah, if I go full melee, I'm just gonna kill it. Yeah, but it could kill me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, any other series outside the Souls likes?
Um Not that I can think of right now, honestly. Uh no, yeah, not that I can really think of cuz I'm usually not necessarily scared of um games, scared of playing games, of playing certain games. I'm normally pretty open, but I don't know. I feel like Souls games have a reputation,
Yeah. Well, they do, and it is somewhat earned. Like those
and it's
games.
not that it's a bad reputation. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that. Like if you play Soul games, great, great. Like you do you. It's just not my kind of thing, I guess. Not 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 my cup of tea, bruv. I don't know why I said it like that, but
Yeah. Which it's fine. Not everything's for everyone.
exactly,
My
exactly.
A lot of things I run into with games is, yeah, I love the game. I hate the communities. The game
Yeah,
Gamers the most oppressed group for a reason. We suck. Like,
it's like
it's,
it's we did it to ourselves. Like that's the part. That's like part of the problem, in my opinion. It was done like no one made us this way.
I'm pretty sure this guy's a water gym leader. I think I just lost. Yep.
Ooh.
That was the actual worst case scenario.
Hey, see, I know you feel like you're gonna lose here, but there's this strat. It's called Don't Lose. Usually works pretty well.
I got
Um,
confused. My whole strat just got thrown out the window.
oh, geez, not the ducks.
But you know, like I run into that issue so many times. Like I'll go to the Discord for a game, and it's just some elitist snobs that are like, "Oh, if you don't do this or this, you're trash." It's like,
If I
okay,
don't play the game the way I want to,
yeah. Well, if you do this, you'll get through it easier. I don't want to do that though. It's like with the Digimon Cyber Sleuth games. Um, that community is awful, and I don't understand why. It's like there's like 200 Digimon. Just do whatever. No, you got to
I
use
feel like
this to this to beat the boss.
that's part of the reason why I don't go to necessarily looking for different communities of games, just because I'm like I know how toxic they can be, and I don't know. I want to not be surrounded by that kind of stuff. I don't know. I I usually try to avoid toxic communities at all costs.
It's just I do try to make. I want to make some new friends. I want to expand my friend group, but
Oh! Are we not good enough for you?
sometimes,
Oh, dang.
look, sometimes I want to say something without getting met with a perverted joke.
Fair.
So,
Hey, just because you're right, does I don't know. Sometimes you don't have to call me out like that. All right.
it ain't just you.
At, at me next time. No.
Oh fuck you, Juan.
No, that's honestly why. Well, like it's stuff like that. That's why I don't really go looking for online friends because of how rare it is that something good comes of it. I'm not saying that all are bad. I'm just saying I don't know. I'm very hesitant to play with random people or be in a voice chat with random people. It's different if it's like a friend of a friend, but
I mean, I used to not care. Like back in the heyday of Destiny,
hmm
Destiny 1, Destiny 2, I would join a fucking raid team. I'd go on the forums like, hey, y'all looking for another? I'm in. Who the fuck y'all? I don't give a fuck. And we would just go. And it's like,
hmm see, I feel like GTA 5 online ruined that for me. Like I would be a little skeptical sometimes, but would be like, okay, maybe this time will be different. But then you get these people who don't know what they're doing, who or just do these different things, and it's just like, okay, nope, never mind.
my problem is I go through these phases where I just don't want to talk to anyone, like I'm in right now. And I'll
hmm
disappear for a month or two at a time. And not many people are okay with that. Like when I come back, start joining the party again, I'm gonna get shat on, but then it's always gonna go back to normal.
Oh well,
Mm,
yeah. Well, I mean
yeah,
I mean you expect it, so
but some people, yeah, you ghost them for a month. And they're like, what happened? What I do wrong? It's like nothing. It's me. Like
I'm just
I just don't want
I'm
to
just
talk to
not.
anyone right now.
It's just not my vibe.
I just want to work and you know go to sleep right now. It's not nothing you did. It's nothing anyone did. I just people aren't okay with that, and that's kind of one of my big hurdles. And I'm doing a lot better in this fight than I should be doing. But and that's kind of the problem online is I also just don't want to take the time for people to get to know me. Like I've mentioned it before, I've got ADHD, and that
Mm,
really messes with a lot of what I do. Again, it's something that comes up whenever I stream League is when you watch me play, I'm clicking all over the screen. That's because
hmm
I've got ADHD. That's me keeping my focus on the game by doing something with my hand. So you'll see me just walk back and forth. Goodbye one. Yeah, you
Oh,
roost. Let's see what happens here. I hope this fucking works.
have any of your Pokemon died?
Yeah,
Or fainted?
yeah, most of them.
Oof.
I don't win this. I don't win this. I've got Surskit waiting in the fucking wings here.
Is this the last one you got to go up against, or is there another one?
This is the last one, but he's got Roost, so he can just heal himself.
Ugh. How do you combat that?
One shot it. Either one shot it or wait out Roost, which it can only use 10 times.
Hmm.
It's gonna fucking burn me.
Sheesh, you almost got one shot in.
Well, the stream's about over and the run's about over.
Yeah, well, this is really good timing.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, no, you're.
Nick, I don't think I should have traded away all my Pokemon.
Wait, what? Sorry.
I don't think I should have traded away all my Pokemon.
Yeah, no, I don't think you should have either. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're.
Surskit doesn't do damage. It's a support Pokemon. Why is it using poison?
Look at that nice just smile on
It
his
has
face.
water absorb. I can't do anything.
Oh Lord.
These are all support moves. This is my only damage move. I heal it. Fucking let me out.
Oh jeez, it's not gonna let you.
I've got to play this out.
Oh my Lord. Um, what? So what do you use to go up against water types? I don't know that's something I always forget when it comes to Pokemon. Is just what's good against what.
Electric. For Mantine, it's a water flying type, so you would use electric.
Okay,
But
that makes sense.
outside that, water is weak to grass. Um, grass, electric, and is that it? I think that's it.
Because like fire would be weak to water, but water wouldn't necessarily be weak to fire.
Yeah, it resists fire. I don't think it has a damaging move.
That makes sense.
I think I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here till the poison kills me. Oh, it has Scald. Why has it been spamming Defog? One is toxic.
Oh jeez. No, yeah, you're done for. Oof. It even said it's not very effective as it just killed it.
Surskit's a bug. It can't do anything till it evolves. 8 routes and 1 gym.
You lost and still received $2,000.
Yeah.
Gee. How much do you get for winning?
I don't know. I've never completed a full run. I usually wipe at the 7th gym. I think on my first run of this game, I got through 5 gyms.
Hmm.
And I think I lost for the same reason. I just traded everything away. I think.
Oh jeez.
Well, I'll go ahead and. Well, it's all going through this here, so.
I was about to say, are we pulling up on a good time to stop then?
I think it's about a good time to stop after that heartbreak
Oh,
of a loss there. Yeah, so this is about how this podcast is gonna go. It's gonna be more interview type, more discussion focused than just topic focused. Um,
mm-hmm.
like I said, next week I'd like to have you and Elias on
Okay.
and go from there. So it, I'd probably honestly want to move it to Sundays, just because when I start my full shift, I won't have Saturday off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'd like to be in a good habit of when we record and when we stream. As far as the other shows, record those whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Just get them chopped up into episodes. And if you do a co-op thing, like if me or you start, I'd like to play through um, Halo with someone.
Okay.
I know you've recently done that, but I'd love to get a recording of just going through that and get it uploaded.
Like through all of them?
So I'm gonna pull it up here, and I'm gonna post it to you in the thing here.
Okay.
I'm gonna post one image to give you a general idea of what Halo I want to play through here.
Okay. Oh Lord.
What do you think?
And I have to get it on PC, wouldn't I?
You should already have it. It's a Microsoft game.
Oh, true.
There's a
You're
way.
trying to
There's a
you're trying to play a modded Halo?
yeah, Cursed Halo.
Oh Lord. I'll think on it.
I'll have to pull up how to actually mod it. So.
And then the question is too, would I be able to join you or would I have to have the same mods?
You would have to have it the same mods, but this is a pretty popular one.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of walkthroughs and things like that on how to install it and get it all running right. I recently switched to Opera GX as my main browser.
Hmm.
And it runs a lot better.
I I still use Chrome primarily because I've just used it for so long that I have like bookmarks of things that I want to keep for for like a long while. So I'm like, I don't really care.
It imported all my stuff from Chrome.
Oh, nice.
So that was like the big thing that helped me switch.
Oh no, it's not that I'm against switching over. It's just that I'm like, that's what I've used, so I don't really care.
Yeah. It's just
But
Chrome's pretty notorious for the RAM usage, but I don't like Firefox. I just don't like how it feels, and Edge is Edge.
yes.
But then I opened up my Twitter feed one day and I just saw the Opera GX Twitter account shit posting, and I was like, uh huh.
Well, there you go.
That
You're
sounds
like,
about right.
there's my answer. uh,
All right, well, let's wrap it up here. I'll get
all
this
right.
recorded, like I said, on Friday.
Okay.
We'll get it uploaded on the new the new Core Creativity channel,
Yes.
and then I'll send the invite to Elias on if he wants to come over and do the next one. If not, then
We'll figure something out.
yeah,
And while you're getting that ready, I guess I'll go ahead and say, feel free to follow me, twitch.tv/wildcat929. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, same thing, wildcat929. Yeah, and then yeah, just and yeah, I don't know. I thought I was gonna say something else, but I don't really have anything else.
you're fine. Say whatever. Just don't get us demonetized. Um,
No, yeah, I think I'm good. Can I talk about my affiliate?
sure.
Yeah, galacticarmory.net. If you're into Star Wars or Halo and into 3D printing or wanting to cosplay, look at going to galacticarmory.net, and if you use code WOLF929, that's with two F's like Commander Wolf from Star Wars, you get 10% off on your order. So yeah,
Well,
Go
there you go.
go 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 check them out.
All right. Well, that's all for the Straight Sevens podcast for this week. Hopefully we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for listening.